At the moment, and for quite a while, I'd like to think that Nigeria and the court have needed one another for different purposes. Nigeria is using the court to advertise itself as a law-abiding international citizen. The court seeks to use Nigeria for the purpose of sorting out its relationship with the African Union, because the African Union and the court have been at odds for quite a while, and Nigeria is one of the more influential members of the African Union. In this relationship of mutual exploitation, Nigeria is deploying the fact that the president of the court is Nigerian, the prosecutor is a product of Nigerian legal education, and so there are sentimental relationships and assets that Nigeria believes it can use, and the court can also use. That, I think, runs the risk of derailing the project of the court in Nigeria. And in fact, in much of Africa, because the mutual exploitation detracts from the primary objective of the court, which is bringing to account people who have committed the most atrocious crimes known to humanity. That is not something that you sacrifice on the altar of banal relationships, which really is what I believe is taking place. That leads me to think, therefore, that you cannot really, at the moment and for a long time, have a mutuality of objectives as such between the court on the one hand and Nigeria on the other. And you see this in how the court, in my view, fell into the error of inviting Nigeria's president to address the 20th anniversary of the entry into force of the Rome Statute as the keynote speaker, because Nigeria at that point had been under preliminary examination by the court for at least 8 years. And part of the crimes for which the court is examining Nigeria for the possibility of prosecution or investigation in any case are crimes committed not just by Boko Haram, the insurgency movement in Nigeria, but in fact by the Nigerian armed forces, whose commander-in-chief is the Nigerian president. The optics are not good when you have that. No, in fact, is the messaging about what the court exists for being promoted. Now, do I think this is going to change with the creation of an African criminal instance, giving criminal jurisdiction for grave crimes to the African Court of Justice and Human Rights? Not necessarily, but that does not mean that we do not need an African Court of Justice and Human Rights. The International Criminal Court cannot sort out every problem quite clearly. It's quite distant. Most Africans can't get visas to The Hague, and the crimes for which we're seeking accountability are crimes against real people in real communities that have had real traumas visited on them. So if we can get an African instance able to take some of those burdens of accountability off of the court, I think it's a positive thing. Is it going to come fully formed? No. Is it going to have problems? I think it's going to have a lot of challenges. But that is why we are a community of human beings able to figure out our answers to these challenges, and over time, hopefully, try to perfect the imperfections of these institutions. But do we need such an institution in Africa? I think we do. And I think the time is ripe for it. We cannot continue to outsource responsibility for crimes Africans have committed against Africans to the rest of the world. Africans have got to take responsibility for that.